Okay, people, I've been listening to the news. As we know, terrorists have struck again in Europe. Brussels. A lot of people died. All our presidential candidates had said something about it. And the truth is, I don't think a single one of them understands a terrorist, how a terrorist thinks, how a terrorist functions, and what's their ideology. First thing is, all terrorists only understand violence. That they understand. They have their set goals, and the violence that they can create will enhance what they're doing. The only way a terrorist will deter from their path of action is if the violence turned against them is far greater and exceeds a much larger degree of violence that they will not then meet their end goals. You might say, oh, that's not true. Oh, is it? Look what happened. Paris captured the guy, and because there's no violence there, only the people they kill are killed. Only the people that they wish to be sacrificed are sacrificed. So they are gaining more and more. They are getting a larger audience to hear their word just by listening to the news. Do you expect that to stop terrorism? No. Someone once said a great defense is an outstanding offense. Listen to what all our candidates say. The Republicans, Trump's the closest to what would be able to, but he's still part of the system. Hillary Clinton is so far in left field. We got to beat them on the internet. Bull crap. You got to beat them on the ground. You got to make them want to not perform their acts of terrorism. Terrorism is not deterred by saying bad people don't do it. Never has been, never will. Trump says, oh, we'll torture them to get where these cells are. I'm not worried about the cells. Kill the snake and everything dies. I'm not worried about the cells at all. But I will promise this. These terrorists will not want to deal with me. They will not want to deal with me. I don't believe in playing games. Actually, I hate playing games, and that's all they're doing. They're playing games with people's lives. I hate playing games. Also, if I must, I'm always out to win. So remember, I do not play games whatsoever. But if you wish to drag me into something like what they're doing, then understand I'm going to be out to win. And the final stage is, I love to cheat. So how will I handle the terrorist situation? One, I don't play games. I don't like playing games. This tit for tat crap is garbage. Two, we're only going to be out to win, and that's what we're going to do. And three, everybody in the world is going to say we cheated, but we will solve the situation. Figure out what I'm saying now. Figure out why I'm saying it. The truth is, terrorists only know violence. They only respond to violence. You think Brussels going to fix the problem? You think Paris fixes the problem? They capture the people, they find out where the cells are, they destroy the cells, other cells will pop up to replace them. You think beating anything on the internet's going to work? Come on! Everybody's behind the eighth ball when you come with the internet. Any single person is always ahead of those who are trying to stop them. Because as soon as they block you one way, you go another. That's all there is to it. The avenues on the internet are so infinite. These young people that are being picked up on the internet, some believe the radicalism of Islam, which is the opposite of what Islam is. Others think they're doing things for the glory of God. How many wars have been fought for the glory of God? Let me give you one example of wars fought for the glory of God, where thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people were recruited. It's called the Crusades. See, for the glory of God. How many Germans fought in World War II? Or even worse, how many Germans in these prisoner camps killed all these people because they believed what they were doing was right? No, you're not going to win that way. Telling them they did what they were doing was wrong. I'm sure during World War II that was all over the news. This is wrong. You don't do it. You don't do it. It's bad, nasty, terrible. No. Trying to win them on the internet? Come on, Hillary Clinton. Wake up! I could never heard a most ridiculous statement to a very extremely serious problem as that. Trump says he'll waterboard him. He'll torture him. Won't need to. Because what I will do will make torture seem like playland. Believe me. There is no halfway when you're dealing with terrorism. You all must understand. To make ourselves safe, we must be so strong that the terrorists will be afraid and would fear us more than they fear death. That's the answer to terrorism. Once they know we are far more dangerous, far more deadlier than death itself to the terrorist organization, they will not dare to terrorize. They will leave us alone, go somewhere else. So how will I handle terrorism? Just let you know the world's going to cry that I cheated. But I don't play games. I'm only out to win. And I love to cheat. So, we can go torture, find out where cells are, go destroy those cells so new cells can pop up. Or we can go on the internet and try to beat them at the internet game. Try to block them. Try to convert other people the other way. It's not going to work. Because for every turn we block, they will make another turn in a different direction. It is the bleeding hearts It is the lost and it is the radical that follow the path. So the internet, there's only one way to stop them on the internet, and that's to close the internet down. Oh, that's going to work. So where can we beat them? The head of the snake, the heart of the snake, the very snake itself. And to be of such a terror to that snake that the snake will never dare to venture towards us and our allies. Nothing else will do. We created this mess. It's time for us to fix it. And to fix this mess, we must do what we fought against and destroyed that was there to stabilize the area, to restabilize the area. So, my answer to terrorism is to understand terrorism, to understand what a terrorist is, to understand what they understand and their goal. And once you turn that against them to a degree far greater than anything they can imagine, you will stop terrorism. When they fear you worse than death itself, then you have now controlled terrorism. But as long as they don't fear you, as long as they can get away with what they want, every cell in every country is indispensable. They can be all destroyed because they can replace them with new ones. But there is something that can and will, and we actually have it available to us at this very moment. Am I going to tell you what it is? Heck no. But I will tell you this, as your president, I will not play games. They best not challenge me. I hate playing games. I'm only out to win, and that's the only way it will be. And I will cheat like all heck, and the world will claim me as the greatest cheater of all time. But I will destroy terrorism on this planet, because they will fear us more than they fear death itself. You all have a nice day. Understand that. I cannot tell you how and why, but it will be handled. And do know these 3 things about me. I don't play games. If you must drag me into this stupid game in which it kills a lot of lives are lost, then know I'm going to be out to win. And when I'm out to win, I love to cheat. So beware the terrorists when I make the pledge. Because games, this is not. Tick for tack is not acceptable. I don't believe in it. I never have believed in it. And I lived it during the Vietnam era. It doesn't work. So people, how will I handle terrorism? I will completely handle it. And that's all I will tell you. I will not tell you torture, waterboarding, or anything like that, because that only goes after cells. That's irrelevant. I will not tell you, oh, we're going to beat them on the internet, because the internet is so vast so diverse. For every channel you block, they'll have a dozen more open. Sit down and talk with them when they only understand one thing, their radicalism, their violence, their way or no way. There's no discussion there. So, everything all the candidates tell you is a bunch of garbage for handling a terrorist. That's the nicest way to put it. And that's what I will do. I'm sorry. The world is not a pretty place sometimes. I'm sorry that there is horror out there. I'm sorry there is war out there. I'm sorry there's death. I'm sorry there's hunger. I'm sorry that people and children die all the time. I'm sorry 21 people in Brussels died. I'm sorry the people in Paris died. But it's us who is allowing it to happen. By accepting everything on the terrorist term instead of starting to put it on our term. Understand, I don't play games. I won't play games. I refuse to play games. If you try to drag me into the game, understand I'm only going to be out to win. And win we shall do. And when I get in there, I will cheat like you've never seen before. Believe me, you have never seen what I will do. Thank you. This is JD. Have a nice day. To handle terrorism is you've got to understand what terrorism is, who terrorism is, and how terrorism functions. Destroy how it functions, destroy who it is, and make their terrorism so insignificant to what you will throw back at them that they will fear you greater than they fear death itself. Have a nice day. This is JD. That is my answer. Sorry, it's not pretty, but you ask those people who are wounded right now in Brussels. You ask those people who are wounded in Paris. You ask those people who are wounded in Boston. You ask those people who are wounded out west. You ask those people who are wounded. Not the ones that are dead. For them, it's over. Their families ask. You can ask their families of the dead ones. But ask the ones who are wounded, the ones who are losing arms, the ones who are losing legs, the ones who's going to lose eyesight, the ones who are going to have problems with thinking. Ask them. Is this tick for tack working? I'm sure everyone will tell you no. You all have a nice day. This is JD. I am a presidential candidate for 2016, just like I was for 2008. And I came in third in 2008. I am not imaginary. And finally, you all, each and every one of you, must understand it is not me alone that's going to make all this happen. I'm taking on now what is a darn near impossible task. Because there's a lot of states I can't get my name on a ballot because you all have done nothing but sat on your duffs and expect the political parties to give you someone who is truly an American and truly with you. You all have not wrote to your states and saying you want JD on the ballot. You all have been goofing off and expecting the political parties to fix what is wrong with our nation when it is our responsibility. Congress has no leadership. It's not meant to be leadership. It is a manager, a managemental tool for us, the people of this nation. But we aren't using it. We let it do whatever it wants. There's only one position in all our Constitution of leadership, and that's the president. He needs to provide guidance and leadership. Congress is to manage. Big difference. And you're not allowing our Congress to function right because you permit it to be a leader when it is not. It is to manage the nation, not lead the nation. The Supreme Court is to see to it that Congress follows the Constitution as it manages the nation, which the Supreme Court is no longer doing. And the President is to provide the guidance and leadership that is needed, which seems to be very lacking. So, bottom line, people, you want to handle terrorism, you're going to have to grab it by the horns. You want to fix this nation, you're going to have to stand alongside me. You're going to have to write your states and say, you want JD on the ballot. And then you're going to have to help me raise money, campaign throughout this nation, and help the people to know the truth of what we are together. Thank you. This is JD. And that is my comment on terrorism. Have a nice day.